time, so we're going to just go ahead and go.
Sweet.
Good deal.
All right.
Welcome to the DBR.
Yeah. This is the Doctor's Brew Review. Previously, what would happen was the podcast, that's us, we're the Doctors Who podcast.
Not doctors, but...
Well, we play doctors on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we would have a show that encompassed beer, and it would encompass pop culture. Whether that was Star Trek, Star Wars, Doctor Who, whatever. We decided to kind of break these two things apart. Instead of having everything in one show, we're going to now do our beer reviews separately. This gives you, in 5 to 7 minutes, a good, concise beer... What's the word I'm looking for?
Synopsis.
Yeah, brewopsis. I like that. So what I'd like to do first is I would like to say, first of all, thank you for joining us. And today we are going to be covering the Avatar Jasmine IPA by Elysian Brewing Company. Now, what I would like to propose...
He's going to propose.
I'm going to propose.
I hope you went to Jared's.
But what I would like to propose is that we first kind of dive into Elysian Brewing and what they do, and then we'll kind of talk about the India Pale Ale, the IPA, and what that is, before we get into the actual tasting and what we think of it.
Nice. Well, I looked up the Elysian Brewing Company on Wikipedia. You know, that's where we all go for answers anymore. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's an American brewery operating out of Seattle, Washington. They have 4 pubs in the Seattle area. They are also part of Anheuser-Busch. I believe that full ownership by Anheuser-Busch exceeds the craft brew's definition of 25% ownership by a non-craft brewery, so it's not technically a craft brew, but I don't know. It might still taste great.
It's also not Budweiser.
That's true.
Very true.
So,
the brewery opened in 1995. They are... Let's see. They've got a couple different flavors here. They've got Space Dust, the Jasmine Pale Ale. Mm-hmm. They have some seasonal beers, some Belgian-style ales, a Bifrost Winter Ale, Pumpkin Stout. I've not really had pumpkin beers. Have you guys had pumpkin beers?
I kind of refuse. I straight out will not. I keep
hearing people talk about them, and it seems like it's a very polarizing thing.
Yeah.
People love them or hate them.
Maybe we'll cover that for a Halloween episode.
No.
Yep.
Maybe I'll talk about it on my own time.
Maybe you should do that.
Yep. Anyway, so it, like I said, opened in 1995. They expanded in 2011 with a 35,000 square foot production-only facility.
Wow.
So they've done well with just having the brew pubs and then expanding into a little bit bigger operation.
Did you say they had one called the...
Yes.
I wonder if they are fans of North mythology.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
It was the Bifrost Winter Ale.
Cool.
Okay. So I'm going to open this thing and pour it. And while we're doing that...
Yeah, so let's dive into a little bit on what makes an India Pale Ale and what is an IPA. I'm sure you have all heard about IPAs. It seems like most breweries anymore that open up have some variation of IPAs or India Pale Ales. Mm-hmm. Some might have the English equivalent, the English Pale Ale, or the America Pale Ale, or even the double IPA. But what makes an India Pale Ale is... back in the early 19th century, ships from England would have to travel all the way around the coast of southern Africa to get back up to its Commonwealth, the subcontinent of India. But a lot of their beer would go bad from the time they left port in England to the time they got around to India. So they found that if they added extra hops to it, they actually were able to make the beer last longer. So it was a preservation method in order to keep the beer fresh.
I did not know that.
And so it makes it a hoppier variety of what is otherwise a pale ale. So it's it wasn't really brewed out of like the need for taste or the need for just fun brewing. It was because they wanted to have beer India, and this was the only way they could get it to happen.
Sure, yeah.
That's interesting.
But it's also interesting to note that, again, the difference between the American Pale Ale, the English Pale Ale, the India Pale Ales, most ales that we have here are more along the American variety, where we have American-style hops. You have your Cascade, your Nugget, your Galaxy. You have American-inspired hops. So even though it says IPA, a lot of IPAs are actually more like APAs.
Interesting.
Anyway.
Thank you. No, I learned something. That's cool.
Cool. IPAs are one of my favorites anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of cool to be able to spout off knowledge. The next part that we've traditionally done is we've used Untapped, which is an app where you can rate your beer. If you would like to follow us, my username is elcrisp. That's ELKRISP.
Mine is Brian, BRIAN_JAY.
And I'm Chip1252.
And my computer is taking off. I also want to apologize if anyone's experiencing any buffering, but we appear to be maybe not getting the best connection that we should. So,
Uh-oh.
yeah. All right. So I have this thing pulled up.
I was really intrigued when you said that this was the beer for the evening. I don't think I've ever had jasmine infused beer or jasmine brewed beer. It's just an unusual flavor.
Yeah.
It's actually prevalent.
Yeah.
That is really prevalent.
So, if I'm... Okay.
I hope jasmine actually is on the flavor profile.
Floral is one of the flavor profiles.
It's contagious.
Yeah. But I can kind of see where floral.
So
kind of
it actually kind of overpowers that traditional IPA citrusy taste, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just kind of mellows the whole thing out and almost makes you think like you're drinking like a jasmine iced tea or something.
Very smooth drink.
I really like that.
I do too.
Huh.
I'm not always an IPA fan, but this one's pretty delicious.
Yeah, wow.
Well,
okay. Go ahead, Brian.
Oh, you can tell it has a little bit of a bitter, like it's a little bitter at the end, or maybe a little hoppy, I should say, at the end. But you're right; it just has such a smooth start to it, and just like that jasmine flavor kind of carries all the way until you're done with it. But
it's nice.
Okay.
Good choice, Chris.
Yeah, that was a really good choice.
So I'm actually going 4.5 on this one. I think it's really pleasant. It kind of defies my expectations a little
bit. This feels like a kickback, next to the fire pit on a summer evening type beer. Just really.
Yeah.
I almost got like a, if you had a, okay, this is gonna sound bad, but if you had a spa day, like if you were gonna go out,
Brian would have a spa day,
and you did like a man's version of a spa day, which would include like maybe watching a match on the pitch, and then you do other like
manscaping.
Wait, hold on there. Anyway, but like this is very very relaxing. Like this is kind of what I would imagine
I get what you're
lavender
saying.
water.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Cucumber water.
Cucumber water. There you go.
So I did log it in at a 4.5, and I did end up with a couple of badges. The one that I think is relevant to this one is I believe in IPA level 17.
Oh.
We believe in IPA and you should too. You certainly have a taste for the hops. That's 85 different IPAs. Try 5 more for level 18.
Good for you. That's awesome.
I'm checking it in at 4.25, and from the flavor profile, I checked floral. I kind of feel like it is just kind of light and airy and feels somewhat flowery.
Yeah.
Smooth and light were the other two that I selected for the flavor profile. And I'm checking it in, and I unlocked a badge too. I think mine's just a 1 year that, hey, I've been doing Untapped for a year, and 99 bottles, and Land of the Free are my 3 badges.
Nice.
Good work.
Fantastic. I'm going to give it a 4.25. I I could be convinced on 4.5. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just is a very solid beer. And it has 45 IBUs, so it's not like it's crazy off the top.
Right. No,
charts
it's
either.
actually
No, it was
and
pleasant.
You
6.3
don't
for
get that. You don't get that
ABV?
punch of hops.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell they're there,
Mhm.
but like it's not
Mhm.
overpowering like a lot of really heavy IPAs
Right.
are.
Yeah, it was a 6.3% ABV and 45 IBU.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Cool.
very good. Sit back and enjoy it. Type
I
beer.
like it.
Yeah.
Good pickup.
Yeah,
Great.
definitely.
Okay, guys. So I guess in closing, we should say, if you want an IPA that's maybe not typical and a little bit different, definitely give this one a shot. Again, it's the Avatar Jasmine IPA by Elysian Brewing Company. And while it might not be a true craft beer, it is really good.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do happen to come across it, try it out. Let us know what you think. If you've had it before, feel free to put your comments below. Oh, and if you like what you heard, please click the subscribe button. We are the Doctors. We did the Brew review, and we will see you next time.
Sweet.